Record. Okay, we're recording.
Cool.
Awesome. So it is 11:29, so we need to stop recording at around 11:50. Okay, yeah, 11:30 now. So what else do we talk about?
We can actually talk about the project. How we're gonna.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Organize. So basically, I think we have 6 weeks to do it. And in terms of, I think the biggest one will be. I guess one thing we have to figure out is how we're gonna do like the common website that links to everything. Are we gonna? Because getting another domain is gonna be kind of expensive.
Or another hosting plan.
Another hosting plan, yeah.
And it's something, yeah, we'd all have to somehow split the expense and share access to it, which is like, okay, I don't know if that's really good. The alternative is to just use one of ours, change the password to something we all know and share, and then once it's done, or try and keep it like, okay, here's what I'm thinking. We can have our hosting plan, like here, and so I actually have all my stuff, all my personal stuff inside a folder already. So I call it the HW folder, homework folder. But if I guess this didn't work the first time. I can create a new folder and put all my stuff in there, or put all our stuff in there. And I have to trust you guys to not totally mess up my existing homework folder. But we can have another folder here like project, and I can copy a bunch of the stuff from my homework folder into there, and that's all she wrote. Like, we don't need to do too much more than that.
So basically what you're saying is we use the root folder that we have right now, the root, as our main marketplace, I guess.
Yeah, basically. Like, I have all these things here that will be helpful because it's what we've been doing these past however many weeks. And I have a bunch of other stuff in here too. But instead of having instead of putting them in this HW folder, I can just create a new folder, and that will be our project folder that has all our project stuff in it. So that instead of having something where it'll say HW in the URL, like here, it'll say project instead. So it'll be its own thing. But that means I'll have to share all this with you, but I trust you guys. You won't completely wreck everything. And I have it all backed up anyway, so, like on my local machine.
Wait, so the plan for this would just be, are we using your account for this or what? Because I think we're supposed to be using different, I think we're supposed to be, using different domains, and then he just wants us to do a bunch of CURL calls.
Oh, really? Is that it? Oh, yeah, cross domain.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God, because I was like, I really don't want to.
Yeah.
So we just, what if we do this? On the WhatsApp group chat, I saw mentions of this thing called Heroku or something that.
Karan's currently using that.
Yeah, Heroku.
Is that like a viable option for this?
I mean, I think so. I don't see where we have any problems. I haven't had to pay anything. So I mean, if we didn't just set up another domain, that should be pretty easy. Or we can continue to extend off of mine too. But so it is an option in the sense of domains if we want to look into that. But other than what we normally want to do, it's kind of really up to us. Like this, whatever we choose.
Okay, I mean, I think that might be a good option because we can create a new domain for free, host for free, and we can just kind of share like credentials.
What did you say it was called? Heroku?
Yeah, Heroku.
Yes.
Yep.
For Teams. Team-based app delivery. So are we going to go for this part or for this, like,
So I
we
clicked the
have
first.
just one account kind of thing?
Well, so this uses Git, so like it has a repository, which I think if we all have access to, we can all just
Oh, it uses GitHub?
uh not necessarily GitHub, but it uses Git.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
It
still good.
itself.
Yeah, like it has its own like I have to do Git commands and stuff, so I have to do the Git
I
ads
see.
and all that. I don't think it necessarily goes to GitHub itself. I think the wherever it's stored is on this Heroku app when you make the account.
That's
So
cool.
Yeah, I think this might work then. Because then
I always have to push my changes in, so I can't really see my stuff locally, which is quite annoying. But for this, all these projects we've been doing, I just update my page, push it onto Git, and then I can see my my website updated. So
Well, a lot of this stuff is PHP anyway, so it's not really going to work locally unless you have some kind of web server software.
yeah,
And if you guys need one, XAMPP is free as well. And XAMPP works pretty well.
yeah, I use XAMPP.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too.
Works
To
very
test files.
I test them by putting them in my web hosting.
Yeah, I was doing that at first, but it's like the editing on that, it doesn't indent properly. So
Oh no, I don't edit it
yeah,
there. Not
yeah,
at all.
it annoys me
I have
greatly.
to constantly keep uploading it.
Okay, I think this might be like a good option then.
Mhm. But I mean, I think with Heroku, if we can get another domain just for our
Yeah,
group's marketplace, I guess,
yeah,
because I think with the CURL calls, you can basically just write from your own, if you do the call to your own domain, you can just write that file into another HTML file for it to show. So, I mean, if we're just showing everything, I mean, technically you don't even have to redo all your code or move it over.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You just say CURL everything from this page because it
Yeah.
has all the echoing or whatever. And I
Mhm.
like the part where you get the, I mean, okay, I don't like that we'll have to get a new domain, but it makes this part a lot easier.
Yeah.
was one of the requirements of something that once we log in, we're supposed to be able to access all of our domains with the same login? Was
yeah,
someone mention that?
yeah,
Well, that makes it a lot easier to do that too, because if you have a, I mean, we'll need to edit like every page we have in our respective sites, because then you will need to add a cookie saying like CMPE 272, and then like the first letter from each of our names underscore login, and then we'll say true or something. And then that's going to be your cookie. And so you carry that around with you to show that you've logged in. Otherwise, they'll have to redirect you to the login page.
Oh, I see. I see. I was actually thinking about how we were going to do that. That's one way we
Yeah,
could.
so with okay, so with Java, I know this isn't going to exactly be applicable, but there's this thing in Java called a login filter, which is extremely awesome. So if I go, it was in this one, I think. Sorry, this is taking some time. Here we go. So what login filter does, let me just expand this a little bit. What it does is it basically, you add this like filter chaining. And so you check if the session has a certain attribute or attributes. And if it doesn't, then you redirect them to your login page. And before you get to this part though, you can also do this other thing, which is check if this URL is allowed to access without logging in. And one of those will be the login page itself and all of its respective JavaScript or whatever URIs. So this dashboard stuff, this was for like your admin login, but regular logins for your client login. And I also added this stuff for like just a testing thing, otherwise it would never have worked. But point being, this actually does a nice compartmentalization. And maybe there's a way to do that with PHP. We can program it straight into our like the marketplace domain. So if there is a login filter kind of thing to propagate that throughout the rest of our sites,
Mhm.
then that might be useful, at least until we decide, okay, we're going to get rid of that so that we can have our own sites. Or maybe we'll keep it that way forever. I don't know. Because if we each log in, then what I'm saying is what this will do is like completely connect our different sites together like permanently. Because it's like, okay, if you are connected to trying to get to any one of these sites, you have to log into this domain. Otherwise it won't work. And also if it's a domain, it's not exactly a hosting service. We'll need to have some kind of a host there if we want to use PHP and HTML and whatever. So what do you guys think?
Mm.
No response? Guys, come on, talk to me.
Oh, so I'm just reading something real quick about
I'm just trying to think if there's like this is definitely possible.
I saw something about sessions. I don't know.
Oh, that's basically don't worry about that. It's functionally equivalent to cookies for our purposes.
Oh, I was thinking. I think there's a session also for
PHP,
PHP.
yeah.
Does one use
There are
that?
sessions, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or does these?
So I tried
Was
to.
there a requirement to use cookies?
Yeah, I think we could use sessions because I just searched up PHP like login with multiple domains, and most of the mentions are just about the session.
I think it has to do something with like security as well. I think something about session being more secure.
Yeah, that's the one I was looking at. The first Stack Overflow link.
This one, yeah.
Yeah.
Session.cookie_domain. So they have this session thing, not cookie. Yeah. I think, wait, cookie is like relative directly to that one domain, right? I think
I'm
it's
pretty sure
only
cookies are
local to.
stored on the localized domain file.
Yeah,
Because
but what I mean is like if you go to like the cookies from that you'll get from one site are different from another site, obviously. So it won't be cross
If you go
domain.
down,
That's why they use session instead.
oh yeah, wait. Oh wait, they have an answer for that actually. If you go down, right here, database.
Right.
We basically will store those cookies in like by remote calls in each of our databases every single time someone registers, and we just keep pulling from there to check.
Well, yeah, we could do that. It would mean like having to query a bit extra, but
Mhm.
to create an API method. Whoops. Respond to request.
Or I saw like the extra credit was the Facebook login. That's also possible.
Fancy UI.
Yeah.
What constitutes a fancy UI? So we'll each need to implement like a rating system or whatever.
Mhm.
Wait, so what if okay, so this is, yeah, we'll need to talk about how we want to do this because what it comes down to is each of us have our own like product services pages and whatever.
Mhm.
So we each have like our own products and our own product pages. So instead of We'll need to we can curl from each one of them, but we also need to implement a rating system for each one. So how are we going to do that part?
Did we not do that? Did we not do the rating thing in a previous homework?
Were we supposed to?
I don't think we did.
I don't think so.
Like the most visited pages or something like that?
Oh no, that's not a
recently
rating
visited
system. This one is like
yeah.
stars or something,
Uh-huh.
or like a thumbs
No,
up.
it says most visited is also.
But I think those are just criterias for tracking.
Presentation of the top 5, so best review or most visited, etc. So if you have like a 5-star rating system or like a score out of 10, yeah, a mean score out of 10 for all of the, like we can have a new table in our database called a rating table, or in our various databases, a rating table, which will have like the each, so it'll look like, let me close this. Our rating table look like creating, oops. It'll have like our ID and auto. Wait, is it underscore like that? And then we'll have like the name of the product. Num votes. And last one will be rating, and this will be a float. So every time someone submits a rating, we have to find the name of that, or use we assume the product ID will be linked to the page they're rating, so we can take the ID from there and do like an update table rating. Well, first we'll need to like query it to get the information. Select num votes and rating. Okay. Maybe we should call this score or something. Rating where ID is this. Rating. How did the update go again? I don't remember. Weekly schools update. Set. That's right. So that's what it would look like. We would just, we have our unique ID, and we'll need to use our unique ID to update it. And so in between here, in between these SQL stuff, in our PHP code or wherever, we'd have this saying like num votes equals NB +1. And then you have to say rating equals score times plus whatever the score they assigned is. Assigned score. By num votes. So it would look something like this, I think. Feel free to confirm or deny. Oh,
Yeah,
we went over the time limit. We went over the
calculate that
time limit for the
range.
recording. Okay, stop recording.